everyone, I'm here today with Ian Brinkley of Brinkley Insurance, and we thought that we would get on here and give a little video about floods and flood insurance since we just got over the hurricane. So Ian, if somebody has insurance on their home but they don't necessarily have flood insurance and their house floods due to some catastrophe, are they covered?
Flood insurance is typically excluded from almost every home policy out there. And what flood is, a lot of people have a misconception of what an actual flood claim is. Flood is actually the water pulling up from the bottom. So your house, you actually have to picture your house sitting in a lake. It's not if your roof blows off and your stuff gets wet, that's automatically covered, or that should be covered on your policy as rain or wind-driven rain, something like that. Also, flood is coastal or tidal surges, and really the rivers and streams and lakes overflowing their banks. So really picture your house water coming up versus water coming down. Flood is water coming up.
Okay, so what if a pipe in the street bursts and that floods your house? Is that covered?
That's water backup coverage, and that should be covered on your policy. You do need to endorse that, but most every policy that I write, I make sure that that's included. Most policies will cover that. So.
Okay, and if you're a couple miles from a lake, like for example, I'm not too far from Lake Crabtree, which is a man-made lake. During a hurricane, that could potentially flood my house. So even if you're not in a flood zone, should you consider flood insurance?
Yes. Well, the answer to that is it really depends. It depends on where you're located. If you are close to a body of water, you should consider it because those waters, it can always overflow its banks. You should also consider it if you're in a low-lying area where water tends to pull if we do get a heavy rain. And you really just got to monitor the situation. I always tell people, go out after a serious storm and see what happened to the water. You know, did you have a lot of water sitting in your yard? Did you have a lot of water, that may become a concern down the road? So it really depends on where you are and where your house is located, but it's certainly a strong consideration.
I really appreciate your time. And if you want to contact Ian for any questions, click on the link below and there'll be a link to my blog, and you can also always call me anytime and I can put you in contact. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you very much.